Hey guys, we're off to a chilly start today, but welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. This one is unique because I'm going to show you guys my plum tree behind me. I'm not sure what kind specifically it is, but it's special because it has several grafts on there that have taken off pretty successfully. Starting with almond right here. I just put that on this season. I have what I know is a Bruce plum taking off over here. Back here I have a nectarine, also have an apricot, which are both still in dormancy, and I'll go into that in a second. And I also have a peach back here shooting off, which is also in dormancy, which is fairly odd because everything else is obviously taken off. It didn't flower or fruit this year. If you guys know anything about that, comment below. I know it was a chilly winter. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Really hard frost here in Houston, Texas. Anyway, what we're gonna do is take some of the nectarine back here. I'm taking advantage that it's still in dormancy, and I'm gonna graft it on this branch coming out here. I love myself a good plum, but obviously I have plenty of room for plums here, and I'd like to see some more nectarine take off. Okay, so as per usual, some of my tools I'll be using: rubbing alcohol, pruners, Sharpie to label, grafting knife, some tape to wrap up the graft, and also some grafting tape here. Self-adhering, although not sticky, and I'll show you guys how that works. Okay, so we've got a little precipitation here, so I'm going to try to move it along nice and quick. This is the branch that we're going to be working with off the plum. The first thing I'm going to do is take some alcohol here, normal rubbing alcohol, dab it on some paper towel, and I'm going to disinfect my tools as to not spread pathogens or disease. I was cloning some grapefruit and other citrus the other day, and I don't really want to cross those pathogens if there are any. So the first thing I'll do here that may look a little drastic is I'm going to take this guy off. And it's pretty much as simple as a snip, but I will make sure I go on an angle, a slight angle, to ensure any precipitation or anything runs off. Nice clean cut. With this, and that may or may not be another video, I'll probably try to propagate some more plum for some of my buddies. Alright, so since this next one's a little bit out of my shot range, I'm going to show you guys really quickly what I'm going to do with this nectarine. The graft starts here and it branches out this way, so I'm going to take the tip of this off here. So I took this piece off here. I'm not going to use the whole thing, but I want options to work with, and this will be our budwood or scion wood that we're working with. Still in dormancy, plenty of buds to work with. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since the diameter of that plum is pretty thick, I'm going to try to maximize my chances here by snipping this in two. Snipping this in two right before the bud here. And I'll essentially be merging these two together and putting them in there. So I'm going to grab some tape here, put this guy to the side. We're going to be working with this guy. There are tons of buds, potential buds on here that I can work with. So what I'm going to do is start from where I think, right about here, and just wrapping up nice and tight all the way up. You kind of give it some tension while you're snapping it off, and it's self-adhering. Really handy. Noted this in previous videos, but I'm basically going to be working with 1/3 here and 2/3, which will be grafted into the plum there. Okay, so in the meantime, this is going to go into the plum like here. Going to take my grafting knife, and I'm just gonna split it right down the middle here. This is a cleft graft, by the way, if you want to look it up and do more research. Okay, we're good there. Also, I have a shoot coming out the side here that I will just take care of. A, you don't want that stealing growth from the new graft here. And B, we're going to be wrapping this, so we don't want anything jutting out. As for this guy, I'm going to shave the sides of it and taper it down to a point here so I can slide that in perfectly. And this is what we're left with. Could probably go a little thinner. I am pressed for time due to the rain here, and I'm gonna work with this. So what I do is use my grafting knife to kind of pry this open, and we're going to slip this in, making as much contact as possible. And if you can see here, there's a slight curvature to this scion wood. What I'm going to do with that is wrap it very tight here, and as I come up, kind of bend it in to ensure maximum contact. Okay, as for this guy, I'm going to use these top 2 buds to work with. I have my grafting tape. Wrap it up nice and tightly. Snap it off, self-adhering. Since I'm only working with a tiny bit up here, I'm gonna take it down to about right here, give it a snip. Okay, we have a nice flat plane to work with, tapered to the edge there. On a side note, there is a very thin layer here of green right under the bark called the cambium layer. This is what needs to make contact with the rootstock here, or the plum. I'm gonna take a little bit more off because the secret when you're grafting 2 like this is that you don't want one to wedge out the other one. You want them both to have optimum contact. That's looking great. I'm gonna grab some more tape here. Okay. What I do is I start right below where I wedged, tie it nice and tight, start coming up. And I'm using a lot of tension here. Of course, you don't want to snap it or anything, but you do want a lot of contact, no moisture or air able to seep in there. Coming up here, I told you I was going to start bending that one in. Especially at the top, coming in really tight. And I probably could have used a little more tape here, but that's okay. We'll do a tie off right here. Nice and tight. Take some of this I'm going to take some of this self-adhering parafoam tape, because there's a little bit right here, and especially here, that needs to be accounted for. Come down the middle there. And that is it. It's probably gonna take about 2 weeks or so to start seeing some growth. You'll see the buds swell up and you'll know that your graft's taken. Okay guys, that concludes how to make multiple grafts on a stone fruit tree. I hope you guys found this informative. I will be doing more videos like this and probably doing some updates. So if you want to stay up to date on what I'm doing, learn a few new things, don't forget to subscribe down there, like if you found this informative, and of course comment if you have any questions or critiques. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. Until next time.